Hello friends, welcome to this video. In the previous video, I talked about how to create a virtual machine, and as I mentioned in the last video, we are going to talk about media today, media or disk. So if you go to the media management, you will see some sort of similar interface, maybe like this. So first of all, just a point to note that you can see all the hard disks that you have created for all the virtual machine in this option. So if I create another virtual machine, or probably if I just clone it, so it might take some time because this is a full clone. The hard disk will also be copied to a new location and I will see another hard disk there. Alright, so the clone is done, and if I go to media again, so you can see here the clone is created and you can see Kali Linux clone disk 1 and the format is VDI. Now I wanted to talk about these disk types, so I will show you what are these disk types. So let us try to create a new hard disk, and this is a new virtual disk. So now you can see these are the hard disk file type. So first one is VirtualBox disk image or VDI. So this is the default one with VirtualBox, and the disadvantage is that it does not support incremental backup, but it has high level of redundancy. So if you're working for your own testing, I think you should always go with VDI. Second one is VHD or virtual hard disk. So this is the one which was supported by Microsoft. Now this VHD is defunctional and it is superseded by VHDX, which is now supported by the Microsoft Hyper-V. So if you are working in a system where you think you might need to upgrade to Microsoft Hyper-V, I think you should choose this one. The third one is VMDK and virtual machine disk. So this is a similar format that was used by VMware, and now it's open source. Earlier it was closed and proprietary, but now it's open. So it supports compatibility with VMware Fusion and VMware Workstation Player. So if you are working with multiple environments of VMware and VirtualBox, I think you should choose this. With VMDK, the advantage is that you can split into files of less than 2 GB. Now there are other types as well. For example, HDD, this is parallel hard disk, and you can see this is only dynamically allocated. QCOW or QEMU copy on write, and this is also dynamically allocated. And QEMU enhanced disk, and this is also dynamically allocated. So these both are related to QEMU, another open source virtualization platform. So these are the default interface. As you can see, these are bold. I would select VDI and I will click on create, and it will create another hard disk of 2 GB. Now if I go to properties here, you will see there are certain type here. The first one is normal. So normal is the default mode, and it does not have any restriction on the guest can read from it and also can write. Now when we take a snapshot, so I will be talking about snapshot a lot in the snapshot video, but keep this in mind. When you're taking a snapshot, all the contents will be copied, and that is the state is recorded during the snapshot, and the contents would be restored when you restore the virtual machine from a snapshot. This can be attached to more than one virtual machine. However, only one of these VM can be executed at one time. So you won't be able to run two virtual machines together with the same attached normal type of disk. Second option, as you can see, is immutable. So immutable is where you have temporary write access. This is just like a random access memory. All changes would be lost when VM is powered off, and it can be attached to multiple VMs without any restriction. Third is write through. So write through is similar to normal, except the state of this disk will not be saved during snapshot. Then next is shareable, which is same as write through. That is, it has the same features as normal, but the state will not be saved during a snapshot. And the advantage with shareable is that it can be attached to several virtual machines concurrently, means you can attach to multiple virtual machines running at the same time. The last one is multi-attach, which has the same feature as shareable, but the advantage is that each machine will have a different write history on the disk. That is, it can write to the disk and you can share the files between multiple virtual machines or multiple guest virtual machines. So these are the type of the disk. Then you can see you have another option called optical disk. So optical disks are the type of ISO images that we are using with VirtualBox. So these are the ISO images that we use with virtual machines. So if you want to add some sort of ISO image, you can just click on add and add it, and it will be shown here. Now, if you see this, you can see the attribute type is read only, and it's already set. And if you click on information, this one is attached, this one is not attached, and this one is also not attached. So you can see the details here. Similarly, you can create floppy disk as well, but I'm not sure if anybody would be using this option. So this is just for backward compatibility. So these are the various media options here. You can use the functionality of search if you have a big list. You can copy and remove from here. So these are the normal operations. And then you can refresh to see any other details. So this covers the media section. And in the next video, we are going to talk about networking. And afterwards, we are going to start with the command line. I hope you enjoyed this video. And in case you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment box and I would be happy to reply. Thanks for watching this video and have a great day.